The price of petrol has skyrocketed, and you can't afford to drive to work anymore. You have to take public transport. So you're sitting there thinking, I wish I had something to do. I wish I could watch television. Well, now you can. You can watch television on your mobile phone.
Single Rules looks at the guidelines for single people and dating today.
So I think if you're sitting on a train, you know, maybe that's the time where you can not have a screen in front of you. But
hey, if they're watching your show...
Oh, if they're watching my show, then that's great.
It's part of the new multimedia revolution in Australia.
Hi, my name is Cathamus Pentacatio, and I'm a funny little man who likes to tell stories.
We all remember Virgil and Mr. Tracy talking on their video phones on the Thunderbirds back in the 60s. Well, now it's finally come true. Has the TV industry suddenly found millions of new viewers clamouring for content? But just be careful where you watch your mobile phone. Let's ask Jim Shomos, who produced Forget the Rules, which was a multimedia comedy drama. First, let's find out what that means.
Forget the Rules is the first comedy drama series in the world to broadcast all episodes on TV, broadband and mobile. It's got a very interactive format where we release three 3-minute episodes a week, and then on the third episode the audience gets to vote which way the story goes the following week.
You're not going to cut my ear off, are you?
Well, that depends, Russ.
They vote between Wednesday and Thursday. On Thursday we write the episodes based on the audience majority choice.
So it's just, you know, I look, and he gets cut off.
Friday we pre-produce, rehearse. Saturday we shoot 9 minutes.
Okay, shooting now folks, turn over sound.
Sunday and Monday we post-produce, and then the episodes will go out again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And we did that for 13 weeks for the first season.
She came up behind me. And then...
It's not a brand new idea, that concept. The Blood Run Free in Australia, Ian McFadden did it when it was based in a hospital. It was a comedy, and it was a half-hour episode, and at the end of it, you rang a 1-900 number and chose option A or B, which way the story would go the following week, and they busily produced it during the week and then got it out the following week. Mobile phone became a big part of it, although they're not the biggest driver of original content yet, at least not scripted, comedy and drama. But that will change once the telcos really understand what they have and how to make the most of it. We actually involve the audience in the show. In the second series we even did walk-on roles, regular walk-on roles. We got them to submit content, ideas, song lyrics that we turned into songs that got performed on the show.
Oh Lisa, I want nothing more than to please you, but when I see you, I just freeze you.
That's the stuff that audiences love, and working out ways of how to involve the audience in the actual show without disrupting your narrative is a creative challenge that's just a lot of fun.
People always say, mobiles will change things, the internet will change things. I'm sure it will. I don't know how, because I don't really know much about mobile phone technology. I know that the internet has changed things.
That's the biggest driver outside of television by far, absolutely. And when we launched Forget the Rules, YouTube was only just started and people really didn't know much about it. That was in October 2005. But now, by the time we launched our second series, which was just last year, it's just well accepted, the idea of downloading video online and watching it.
It's kind of added to what's there already. It hasn't redefined the whole thing.
You see, a lot of people ask what it's like to be a film critic.
Kind of talking out my arse here.
You always have to allow for the lowest common denominator. So if mobile is your lowest common denominator, then absolutely you have to allow for that. And try and make production value still good enough to work on the other media. First limitation is 3-minute episodes. Maybe you can probably go to 5 now. So that affects your writing and your whole structure of how you're going to tell a story. Some people can do that, and some people aren't comfortable. Just like some people are comfortable writing features and not writing television. And then there's lighting. It has to be a little bit brighter. It has to be a little bit less fancy camera movement. A little bit of fancy editing. You just got to, and ideally as many close-ups or closer shots than you would normally do.
No, don't touch it, Carmen. You don't know where it's been.
Pepe, I know exactly where it's been.
One of the things you find with short form entertainment is that people expect more story per minute. Because you need to do that. People are just, very story literate, and if they want to be entertained in the short forms, they really want to be entertained now. A lot of people that try and dabble in this area kind of dilute it. They think that because it's only online or mobile, well, that's the focus. Therefore, you don't need as much, emphasis on script and etc. But you do. You actually need more. And the story principles are still the same. It's all about character and story in the end, whether it's 3 minutes a week or 30 minutes a week.
It happened again today.
You're kidding, that sleazebag client made another pass at you.
Well, this all sounds very wonderful and liberating, but are there any drawbacks with trying to download television?
It still takes a while to download files, and it's also very expensive. Unfortunately, Telstra and other telcos don't really get that yet. They're still trying to make as much money as possible out of the data rates. 3 understand a little bit better. They have specific rates, and Optus are moving in the right direction, and Vodafone are moving in the right direction. Hopefully, they'll all change though.
But it still takes lots of people to make a television show like Forget the Rules. So how do you pay them all? Where does the funding come from when the show is on a mobile phone?
Fantastic.
We didn't realise how far ahead we were in 2005 with Forget the Rules, and but that was hard back then, and there weren't really any funding models. So what we found was Forget the Rules became our creative mantra, but it very quickly became our business mantra and then industry mantra. No one really knew. So the partners that we had on board then didn't provide the funding. We actually found the funding from private investors for the first series. The good news is that the second series was funded more classic kind of television funding. So Optus TV came on board and funded the second series along the lines with Film Victoria, and it was fully funded. So both series we did, everyone got paid a water above award. It was a professional production. So we were able to use really great, good cast and great crew. Film Victoria, probably one of the leading organisations in the world when it comes to digital media. They get it. They understand the content, they understand its value, and they respect and value digital content makers as much as any other content maker in this state. And they have real money for it, the substantial funding. That is the envy of every other state in this country.